Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, guys, for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, I've had weekly from Betsy OPARANYA crying, and I've been like, guy, why are you crying? You know, you guys were very happy when you were joining this government. You were very happy, you were jumping up and down. You really appreciated William RUTO for giving you this opportunity to become CSS, the so-called experts. So why is it that you guys are now crying that your offices are not being considered like real offices? Now, I want us to discuss that issue of OPARANYA, WANDAYI, MBADI, and Joho. I just want us to talk about the 4 experts that ODM decided to give the government so that they can help the government solve their problems, because the government felt like, no, we cannot handle this thing on our own. Let's look for experts that can also help us to make this government run smoothly. But before we do that, fellow Kenyans, let me humbly request you that if at all you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well, like, you can share, drop me your comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. If you're in the country, I'd request tell me which part of the country you're watching from. And if you're outside, it's also good to tell me which country, or drop me the code, the flag, or the name of the country where you are watching this video from. It all is going to be well. And just a quick reminder, fellow Kenyans, and to the Monitor Media supporters and the community. We are having a project, and I think by evening, there's a case that I've been following up, a very serious case I've been following up, and I think by evening, either the next video after this, or let's just say that by evening we shall know how to handle it, because I've been making the inquiries, how much is needed, you know, that before I come with the full information about that, and then about that issue is a very touching story. I've been following up, you know, the family and everything before I bring it to you guys. So probably before the end of the day, that is around evening, let's just say around 6 there, 6, 7. So the video that I'm going to do around that time will comprise of that, and how we're supposed to handle it, or how it's going to be. So please stay tuned, and then I know that all is going to be well. Now, let's embark on our discussion. And let me say this, you know, OPARANYA was very happy. OPARANYA was very happy when he joined this government. So I wonder why right now he's crying the way he's crying. Can you watch this?
My office, all the time I have to come here to get money for the operation of my office. I don't know if my office is recognized as one of the offices of CS in this government, or is not. And I will plead with you that at least I should get a location appropriately, as pointed out by the PS cooperatives, that at least I need 200 million in that office to enable me operate. I have to depend on these PSs. When I go out, I'm stuck out there. There's no fuel. I have to call any of them. Because they are accounting officers, they're always signing for themselves. So I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue being a beggar from my juniors. I hope you have heard that. Yeah, now.
Honorable Chair, I'm weekly ambassador of OPARANYA. I'm the CS in charge of the cooperatives and MSME Development Ministry. And I want to start by apologizing that we have come late and have a risk of whether the responsibility of presenting the estimates to you with the responsibility of the accounting officer. But as a ministry, I feel obliged that I have to know what goes into those estimates, because the overall responsibility of a ministry rests with the cabinet secretary. So it is important that I have to follow up what is even happening before this particular committee. And I did give directive to the 2 PSS that they had to make the estimates available to me on Monday, this past Monday, but unfortunately, you know what happens on Monday and what happens on Tuesday. So they were forced to come and make that presentation to me this morning. So as a CS, I had also raised issues with them, which they had to go back and make corrections, and that's why there was a slight delay. And Honorable Chair, I can remember you called me and I said we are on the way. I'm sorting out one or two things, and then we come. I don't want my officers to appear before the committee with the information that is half-baked or information that is not well supported.
Now, that is Wycliffe OPARANYA. You hear him saying that he's not respected. In fact, his office is not even respected. He begs. He normally begs to be given money for transport and even fuel. Sasa zingine anaenda mahali na anakwama. Very interesting. Now, let's talk. Let's first start by asking ourselves this question. What is the main purpose of Wycliffe OPARANYA's office? Kazi ofisi ya Oparanya kubwa ni gani? Kufuata wale watu ambao hawajalipa nini? you know sometimes it is not in a bad way, but sometimes you try to look at these guys and then you ask yourself, so why are you guys crying? What is the purpose of your office? Kwa sababu ukijaribu kulia lazima tuangalie, okay, wewe unalia kwa sababu gani? Ofisi yako kazi yake ni gani kubwa? Yes, that disrespect must be there because that is what you signed for. You can't tell me that you're going to work with William RUTO, with this government, and you fail to be disrespected. You must just accept the disrespect, nothing more, nothing less. That disrespect must be there. Hakuna siku ambayo utakuja utasema kwamba umejua mimi wananiheshimu kwa hiyo office. First of all, I said it here yesterday and I'll keep on saying that these guys that are in these offices, they have to remember that they were not appointed from the word go. There are people who just went there after the first bunch of people were sent away. Remember after the Genesis protest, what happened there? That is how these people got into these offices. So your disrespect lazima ikuwe hapo. Just same as Kithure Kindiki being imposter in deputy's office. Wandayi is an imposter in energy. Joho is an imposter in this issue of mining. MBADI is an imposter in treasury. Though unasikia anasema kwamba he didn't do any interview to become a CS. You understand? So unaona jinsi ambavyo watu wanibeba na kiburi. The problem is not even about them being disrespected. The problem is, how have you been behaving in the public domain? How have you been talking to people? Like wewe ukaniambia saa hizi John baada ya kuja anze kulia kwamba anadharauliwa and then people pity him. I don't know whether you ever heard the way John Mbadi talk. John Mbadi wanaongea ni kama is the first CS of treasury in this country. Like unadhania kwamba John Mbadi sasa amefika kule ambako alikuwa naenda, hakuna pale popote ambapo ambazo kwenda kama sio huko. And it is very shameful, by the way. It becomes very shameful when we hear a CS saying that I didn't do. Let me read for you what John Mbadi said. Like I heard John Mbadi saying this, and I was like, oh my God. So these are the kind of leaders that we have in this nation, who thinks that everything revolves around them. John Mbadi said that I didn't do any interview to become a treasury CS. I was appointed politically. I am a political animal. You cannot gag me or take that away from me. I have big ambition. I also want to be president. Huyo ni John Mbadi. Of course, we can't talk about Wandayi because umeona during this fuel scandal and everything, you heard the way John Mbadi, the way Wandayi has been speaking. Ni kama mtu ambaye hajielewi. So alafu sasa tuko na Joho. Yani tuseme tu kweli. I just want us to say the truth. The truth of the matter is, these guys got into government, they got into power, and then the mistake that happened was that sijui tuseme kwamba walilazimishwa na haya hizi vitu. I don't know how we can say. I don't know whether we should say that they were forced. We can't literally say that they were forced with this thing. It is not something that they were forced with, but you really feel like, you know, there is something off. There is something that is normally completely off with these guys, because look at the way they are behaving, look at who they are, look at how they are. Is it really nice? You know, is it really is that the best way that people should behave? Ukijaribu kuangalia jinsi ambavyo wanakaa, vitu ambavyo wanavifanya, seriously, is that, let's just say the truth, is that the way that perhaps maybe we expect people to behave as a leader? Because personally I know that there is a way a leader should carry himself, should portray himself. There is a picture that you're supposed to portray out. Kuna kitu ambacho ukitoa nje watu wakiona, watu wanasema enyewe huyu ni kiongozi. Lakini kuna jinsi ambavyo ukiongea, watu wanasema kwamba no. So hii mambo ya hao watu mara tunadharauliwa, mara tunafanywa nini? What do you expect? I didn't expect something different from what is happening to them. Because number one thing we have to know that mtu ambaye alifanya watu kwa serikali is no more. Raila Odinga is the one that made these people to be in this position. So he's no more. Tell me who's going to defend them. Of course, I've been hearing here and there that, oh, you know, they went to the government by themselves. Raila didn't take them there. But okay, Raila was acted an oversight. Raila did the oversight, and then after Raila had talked about the Gen Z's demonstration, Mara is mame, Mara nini, and then that is when now they got the opportunity to join the government. So in other words, we can say that, okay, Raila played a part, because if it were not for Raila Odinga, they could have not gotten these opportunities. That is why unasikia wanaongea jinsi ambavyo wanaongea. So John MBADI, Joho, Oparanya and Wandayi, those four guys. Alafu unasikia John MBADI anasema kwamba yeye unataka kuwa rais wa nani? No, I ask you a question now. I challenge you with this question, and I keep on challenging you with it every time we talk about John MBADI. You as a person, can you elect John MBADI to become the president of the Republic of Kenya? Wewe unaweza kubali kumchagua John MBADI akuwe rais? No, tuanzie hapo. Wewe mwenyewe unaweza ukamchagua John MBADI awe rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya? Kama huwezi, basi who can? Because the kind of arrogance, the way this guy talks with a lot of arrogance in him is like, you know, I'm the first and the last CS of Treasury. There is nobody who can perform better than me. Okay, you are talking about performance. Show us what you've done. Can these guys tell us what they've done since they were appointed, because since we were taken as the experts? Because I think wakati ambapo umeenda mahali, you've been taken there to solve a problem. The reason why you've been taken there is because that person knows that you can solve that problem, I think, right? So if you've gone somewhere and you can't solve the problem, you can't solve that problem, that maybe you can't handle what is going on, what do you think is going to happen? People expect you, like literally the expectation is that you're going to solve that problem, but then now you realize or you find out that you can't even solve the little problem. In fact, it's worse than even the way you found it. I normally have one notion that if you go to a place, leave that place better than you found it. If you go to a house, maybe you've rented a house, don't make that house dirty. Ama tuseme kwa mfano umeenda mahali tu pale ambapo unatarajiwa, kuna jinsi ambavyo unatarajiwa behave. Don't behave in a weird way. Leave a good mark. Just leave a good mark behind. Usiache umechafua mahali. Just behave. Lakini saa shida inakuaga, unakuja napata kwamba mtu ameenda mahali lakini anataka kuacha mbaya zaidi ya jinsi ambavyo ilikuwa. That is where now the mistakes, and that is where the problem normally comes from. So my point is this. These people have not yet cried. They are going to cry. Ndio wameanza, wanaenda kulia. I tell you 100% sure, these people are going to cry. and they're going to cry big times. I don't know how the problem is going to be solved, but the truth of the matter is these guys are really going to cry. Hawajalia, hao watu wanaenda kulia vibaya tena zaidi, na sijui jinsi ambavyo watasuluhisha mambo yao, but I know one thing I know for sure is that they are going to cry. I don't know what to think. I just give you a chance at the comment section to also tell me your mind. Just tell me your thought. What do you think is going to happen to these people? Because personally, I think hata kama ni kufukuzwa basi kufukuzwe tu kazi. Because si hao wenyewe walikeuka wananchi wakasema kwamba hao they are the expert. Nisikia mtu anasema kwamba mimi sikufanya interview. I was not interrogated. I was not interviewed. I got this chance because I deserved it. Like I deserved it. And that is where now the problem normally comes from. Thinking that now you are better than other people. Thinking that now you can do better than other people. That is the greatest mistake that you should never do. Anyway, that is just my opinion. That's my thought. Let me also know what you think at the comment section. Please don't forget to drop me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe.